Alright guys, we are here to talk about, we're going to kind of talk about the Vortex spinal harness, but this video is not really oriented around this. However, it is oriented around the Invader concept holsters. Guys, give me just a minute. It's about to storm here. We're going to head into the shop. I love you guys. Alright guys, welcome to the shop. Guys, it is raining outside. We got off the range just in the nick of time, but thank you for staying with me. We're going to get through this, I promise you. Alright, so today, first thing we're going to talk about is the sponsor of the channel, Gun Connection out of Taylor, Texas. I know a lot of you guys that watch this channel already know them, already go there. They're great people. If you need guns, you need ammo, you need gunsmithing work. Gun Connection out of Taylor, Texas. Phenomenal people, guys. If you don't know who they are, Google them. They are online. They have two stores, one in Taylor, Texas, one in Maryland. But anyways, guys, back to the Invader Concepts holster. All right, so really quick, guys, just a little bit of background and where I come from. I have dealt with holsters for, oh gosh, various holsters over the past almost 30 years, man. Over a quarter century. That's a long time. So I've dealt with anything from leather holsters. Yes, leather holsters. Still have a leather holster. One of the very first classes I ever took was qualifying on a leather holster. Pretty phenomenal. I've had anything from Kydex holsters to your Safariland, your Black Hawk holsters, and even this thing right here, which we'll get into more of that here in just a second. Now, I was looking for a holster to go on and to basically have a holster that I could wear in the backcountry was my main goal. But I also thought, well, if I could use it in everyday life. Now, I went to the Western Hunt Expo. Some of you guys already know. Y'all guys watch the channel. I came across this company right here. Now, I'm probably going to mispronounce the name, Benandi Holsters. Phenomenal people. I really did like talking to them. They are actually based out of Utah, and I really did enjoy talking to them. And in their holster concept was basically a Kydex style holster that was made for your vinyl harness, whether it's Vortex, Everly stock, whatever it may be. And ultimately it was basically a holster kind of like this one here, but it had these connection points that went around various points of your vinyl harness, so that basically as you wore your vinyl harness, it was ultimately attached to your vinyl harness, and it should work with your vinyl harness. Whether it works great or not, I don't know. I did enjoy talking to them. I did like the concept. However, I just didn't like the fact that it was, if I wanted to wear it, I'd had to wear the vinyl harness, and so it just didn't fit what I was looking for. It is what it is, guys. But phenomenal people. If something like that is who you're looking for, Benandi holsters. Benandi holster. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'll put the name down in the description below so you guys can have that in case you're curious. Now, through social media, I actually found this, probably because I Googled it, so it started showing up on my social media platforms, but Invader Concept holsters. Now, I know you guys are probably seeing a piece of 550 cord here tied. We'll get to that here in a minute, I promise you. But first and foremost, let's talk about the guns on the table. We do have a Glock 20. It is chambered in 10mm. It is unloaded. And then we do have a Taurus tracker chambered in 44 mag. It is unloaded as well. These are going to be the two guns we're going to briefly talk about here today, guys. Now, back to, I was looking for a holster that would fit my needs in the backcountry, but also something I can use here on my ranch when I'm walking around. When I'm walking around the range, when I'm rucking, when I'm doing stuff, I wanted something that I could wear pretty much any time, no matter what I need, no matter what I was doing. And so Invader Concepts seemed to fit that need, and so I ordered it. Now I don't have an affiliate code. I didn't get paid. I bought this with my own money, and it is what it is, guys. So I'm not getting paid for this review. It's what it is. Hopefully they like the review. Hopefully they, I don't know, we'll see. But what I did like about it is first and foremost, I did like the color variations. You're not just stuck with black or FDE or OD green. There was a variety. I can't even tell you 10, 20, 30 different color variations you can get. I have obviously a Hunter orange in the back, and I have a dark multicam in the front. Now you can also, oh man, it's just the color variations are just crazy. You can even get different size and different color straps, and so there's just a plethora of variations you can do to kind of personalize this thing on your own. Now, I guess we'll get this out of the way. When you're wondering why is there 550 cord on this thing, when I was in the backcountry just recently, let's see if this thing will cut it. When I was in the backcountry recently, I had a problem. And by problem, I mean when I went to gear down at some point in time, I mean, you get a knife for this thing. Is what it is. When I went to the backcountry, oh my gosh, let me go get a knife. I'll be right back. So in the backcountry, let's finish this sentence here. We geared down for a little bit to get a little rest as we were hiking and bringing in a bunch of gear. And in doing that, when I took it apart, I realized that I had lost a part to this holster. And by lost a part, I mean I lost one of these screws here, came out of there, and I was like, what in the world am I going to do? And so I had a holster that wasn't staying up, and as I took my gear off, it just kind of fell down towards my stomach, and I was like, okay, this is not going to work. And so I needed a fix. My initial response was to probably take this piece out right here, but that is your tension screw for your gun, and without that, your gun's just going to slide out and fall out, which I felt like that was going to be dangerous. So I was like, we're not doing that. So what in the world do I do? So I took some 550 cord, basically tied in a patch, and worked great. I had no problems, no complaints. Now, what I will say is this, is everything perfect in this world? No, nothing's perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. There are problems, there are issues. Now, when we talk about this problem here, my biggest thing I think it was my wife that asked me, how do you feel about that? I said, well, we'll see. I'm gonna reach out to the company and say, hey, I had an issue, and see how they respond. And their response was, we'll have the parts out the door today. And that was really quick. Like I emailed them at like 11 o'clock at night, and then they responded the next morning when I woke up. I sent them a picture. They asked for a picture of the issue. I sent them a picture, and there was not a whole lot of back and forth, which I do like. I do like when a company's idea is all solutions, no problems, and that's it. Kind of like Vortex. The reason I love Vortex is not only the price is great, the glass is great, the warranty is phenomenal. Every time I call them, tell them an issue, boom. I've even had, they don't even ask for pictures. They're like, boom, parts out the door right now, and that's phenomenal to me. Now, the fact that Invader Concepts asked for a picture, do I have a problem with that? No, it is what it is. And they sent me not just one replacement part, they sent me all three, and I am not complaining. They even sent me a sticker. But they did send me some replacement parts, and I'm like, man, that's phenomenal. I am totally happy. They didn't give me any runaround, any problem. They're just like, here's more parts. And so great, it is what it is. I'll have that piece put on there here in just a few minutes so that she is working full operational again. Now, if you ask me how it happened, I don't know. I don't know if just, say when this thing gets laid down, sometimes these things get turned around, and so I end up having to spin them around to get them in place. I don't know if it just backed out because of that. Honestly, don't know. It is what it is. Sometimes we want answers to the questions, and I don't have an answer, but Do I care? No. They sent me 3 replacement parts. I'm going to use one of them, and I'll have 2 more as backup. Have I ever had that issue before? I've had some Safariland issues. I think I had one Safariland do something similar. I got a replacement part, not a big deal. I think I even had an issue with the Black Hawk holster, but it's been years ago. I don't really remember exactly what the issue with that was, and so I'm not going to sit here and make up some BS just to fill some time on the screen, but it is what it is. Now, if you're asking why I have this guy here on the table, because we're not really talking about that. We don't have a holster for this. Now, when we talk about color coordinations, you can do a bunch of different colors on their stuff, which I think is phenomenal, even with straps. I initially, when I started going hunting about 3 years ago in the western backcountry, I was taking this pistol here, and I could not find a holster for this gun to save my life, and I ended up settling for this guy here. Just a cheap little, I think $10, what brand is this thing? I don't even know. Range Max, whatever that is, I don't know. It was like 10 bucks, maybe 12. And basically I ended up finagling it onto my pack, and it just basically sat on my hip when I had the ruck on. I took the pack off, it stayed right there on the grass and the dirt with my ruck, and I didn't like that. The gun would come back, it'd be grimy, it'd be dirty. It would just, I just didn't like it. And so I just like, okay, I couldn't find a holster for this gun, so I was like, I'm not going to carry it no more. I'm not going to carry it because I can't find a holster that would work. Now, I was scrolling through Invader Concepts website, and I just, for like, let me just look. They actually have they call it the Taurus Tracker 44. They actually have a holster for that guy. And that just makes me laugh, because I couldn't find anybody else. I reached out to companies, I'd email them, hey, I got this gun, can you have a holster? Nothing, no response. And it was kind of frustrating, because it's like, guys, I'm just asking, and if you make it, just tell me no. Don't just ghost me. But it is what it is, man. Customer service isn't always what it is, or isn't always what it should be. Except for Vortex and Invader Concepts. I can tell you those 2 companies right there have the best customer service that I have dealt with thus far when it comes to gear, and no problems, only solutions. So shout out to Vortex, I do love you guys, and shout out to Invader Concepts. I do like the fact that you guys are like, yeah, here's replacement parts, easy peasy, not a big deal. And so that being said, guys, if you're interested in a chest holster, I do like the idea of a chest holster, simply because if I gear down, I can take everything off but the chest holster. I can go walking with just a chest holster. I can just use the chest holster, and I'm perfectly happy with that. And that fits my needs around the place where I'm in the backcountry. And even if you are able to somehow finagle maybe you have a way you can conceal that and carry it around, I think it's phenomenal. If you want to just wear a jacket and have it on your jacket, I don't know, whatever fits your fancy, guys. I don't care. As long as you're happy, I'm good. But regardless, man, I can't believe they have a holster for this guy. But regardless, customer service is great. The product is phenomenal. I think it is a pretty good quality Kydex style holster. And as far as that thing backing out, I don't know what happened with it. Don't care. They sent me replacement parts, so I'm happy. And in case you guys are curious, Invader Concepts. I'll put the name right here on the screen so you guys can see it, so there's no misspelling. But regardless, guys, I do love y'all. I hope y'all found this interesting, because I did. Love y'all.